People keep asking me, how did you learn Spanish? Where can I go to learn Spanish like that? They say things like, I've tried several things. None of them work. Really, I'm mocking a Facebook ad I just saw. Facebook shows me a lot of them. I'm Sterling and you're learning American English with me, or maybe you're learning Spanish. But if people were saying things like that to me, I'd say to myself, I wouldn't say this directly to those people because it would be rude. I'd ask myself, what's not working? You're not working. Stop expecting somebody else or something to teach you something and start really wanting to learn it for yourself. So what I'm going to say in this video, you might summarize like this. You don't really need me. You don't need any other teacher for that matter, although I would love to help you learn English or Spanish, as the case may be. I'd love to help you with your Spanish too. And I can, if you'd like, because I really enjoy languages and I really like helping people defeat the learning barriers that they set up for themselves. A lot of online advertising from big language schools, like the one I just mocked, they want to sell you a contractual language learning program. At these commercials, they have convincing sounding testimonials from convincing looking everyday people, and they're usually young people because in general, I don't want to discriminate, but it seems that more young people than older people haven't yet figured out that it's really all up to you, not somebody else. Some of the people in these ads, they talk about how they tried this program or that program. They say like, oh, I tried Rosetta Stone, I tried Berlitz, I went to this language school down the road and they have native teachers. And it just didn't work. None of it worked. I didn't learn anything. Poppycock. This is a family-oriented video. I'll say poppycock. There's nothing wrong with any of those schools, or probably with any of those teachers. Nobody's language learning program's really good or really bad, probably. They're all good in some ways, and probably they have their own weak points too. But if you didn't learn from someone or from some special language learning method, there's not anybody to blame but yourself. Nobody can teach you a language. You have to want to learn the language. The buck stops with you, not with a teacher, not with a language learning program. So ask yourself, how badly do I really want to do this? Do I just feel lukewarm about it? Or am I just burning hot with desire and I want to do this more than anything in the whole world? Your results are going to reflect that feeling. I don't want to toot my own horn because I like to think of myself as humble, but I will just a little, just to give you an example that I really truly believe in, because I've always felt, when I decided to learn a language, that I wanted to do this almost more than anything else in the world at the time I was learning it. Now, I don't have a recognized formal degree in any language, and I don't have a degree in teaching either. My professional life up to this point, until I moved to Mexico, was mostly technical. And languages have always been like a really intense hobby for me. The only paper credential I have for teaching languages is this certified short course that I took in teaching English as a foreign language, which gives you a TEFL certificate, which almost any native speaker can get if they want to. But anyway, I've also learned other languages, and I learned them primarily through self-study. In one case, I had a really great native speaking teacher, a teacher who guided me to a point of, she said, near native level fluency. of which now I've lost a lot because of a lack of practice, because I haven't been back to Switzerland for a really long time. But that happened through only 6 weeks of intense private instruction, because I had a really burning desire to learn to speak that language fluently. I had personal interests in it, and I had a deep sense of belief that, yes, I could do it. And I know for a fact that I did all the work. Yes, my teacher helped me. She was a native speaker. She was great. But I really wanted it. I wanted it really badly, like more than any other thing in my life at that time. That's how I felt. If I had felt lukewarm about it, or if I'd believed that it was going to be impossible, then it just wouldn't have happened. And that language was Swiss German. First, it was necessary, before learning Swiss German, to completely learn formal German at an advanced level. But I'd already spent something like 25 to 30 years perfecting German as a hobby. I did take a few graduate courses, but that didn't have a lot to do with it. Swiss is actually a completely different language with its own independent grammar rules and vocabulary that are quite different from German. It's like Swiss German is to German very much like Dutch is to German. The speaker of one language really can't recognize the other without quite a bit of study and effort. It's not automatic, because you understand one, you won't necessarily understand the other. But not to dwell on that too much, what I want to say about that as it relates to English and Spanish is that my experience with Spanish has been really similar. And yours can be too. With Spanish, I have had no direct teacher. I started studying Spanish seriously about a year before I decided to retire to Mexico. And that was about 4 years ago, as I speak. And I never have enrolled in any formal course in Spanish. I followed some teachers online. I watched videos. I went through a couple of Spanish courses online that I bought for very low prices. But mostly at the same time, I studied Spanish on my own. I started to try to read. I started listening to things. I've lived in Guadalajara now at the time of recording this. Almost 3 years. And although I'm not 100% fluent, I feel like I've reached the point where I was with German and with Swiss German some 20 years ago when that was my passion. All of my continuing learning in Spanish comes from reading novels, watching documentaries and movies in Spanish with subtitles in Spanish, talking with friends, shopping, hanging out with friends, getting bureaucratic things done in various government agencies that I have to deal with in order to be a Mexican resident, and from teaching English in Spanish language to beginners, where I have to speak Spanish in class because the students can't understand English yet. But I have taken no classes ever. And my opinion is that people who are looking the hardest for that perfect teacher, that perfect language school program, are just wasting their time, wasting energy that they could be using to learn the language they want to learn. You only need, more than any other factor, you only need self-confidence. And that self-confidence has to be deep. It has to be a deep-seated belief that you're capable of this and that you really want this. But if you feel lukewarm, you'll get lukewarm results. Don't feel lukewarm. Want this. More than anything, I don't care if you're learning English or Spanish, want this. You have to learn the language. Now, a little bit of a lot of different methods can help you with that. But remember, teachers, learning programs, and books, they're just tools. They're all just a small part of the equation. They have little or nothing to do with your real progress or your rate of progress in learning English or Spanish. Don't depend on a program. Don't depend on a teacher. You, and only you, you have 100% to do with the rate of your own progress in learning English or Spanish, no matter which one you're learning. Just do it. You don't need anything else. You only need desire. And I know from my own experience that you will work and study hard when you feel this impassioned. I'd love to support anyone that really feels the same passion for English or Spanish. Drop me a line by commenting in this video or by WhatsApp. The number is in the description box in this video, and I'll see you in the next video. See you next time. Bye-bye.